This podcast is brought to you by Men's T Clinic. Men's T Clinic is the team I trust with my total wellness optimization, and so should you. 5 DFW locations with North Frisco, El Dorado Parkway at Dallas North Tollway now open. Call 972-GO-MEN'S-T or visit mensteclinic.com.
Man, there are a lot of podcasts out there.
Definitely. I mean, there's 3 million shows, 50 million episodes, and more every day.
I mean, who has the time to figure out which ones are the best podcasts?
We do. That's who. What's up, guys? I am Alicia Renee.
And I'm Dax Holt.
And we are your host of Pod Sauce, a podcast discovery show.
Look at us as your podcast concierge.
We do all the work for you. We listen to the shows, review them,
pick the best episodes, and interview the hosts.
Pod Sauce. Let us help you find your next binge. Tell them where to go, Dax.
Go to podsauce.com.
Dax, again, your assignment is simple. You know, you'd like 50 yards. You don't really need that many. Prescott play action, back to throw, a little screen out to the right to Schultz for 5 to the 41. Second down, little pass, slant to Cooper, first down across the 50. To the 49-yard line, stopped by Jackson. Hand off Pollard, coming left, block from Tyron Smith. Pollard across the 45. Down to the 41-yard line. Second and short, little flare pass to Lamb with a block out in front from Cooper. First down to the 35. Wait, if you stop and listen real closely, you will hear the gears in Kellen Moore's brain grinding. They are turning. There's smoke coming out of his ears.
I'm vengeance.
Looking down the field, Lamb, 10, 5, victory! Cowboys win! The ghosts are exorcised!
When everything's against you, we found a way to keep swinging and to come out the win. I think that's important for us. Take this confidence, go into the bye week, get better, work on ourselves, and come out of this thing with this momentum and continue rolling.
The Cowboys win a walk-off. Troy Hughes with the montage to get you ready to go on a Cowboys Monday. It's Sean and RJ, 35-29. CeeDee Lamb taking over the second half. Dak doing things to a Bill Belichick defense that have never been done. Trayvon Diggs got his interception and pick 6. Luke Gifford with a special teams block. A classic game, a top 5 game, maybe a top 3 game that I can ever remember in covering this team in 11 years. The Cowboys move to 5-1, stranglehold on the NFC East as well. Washington and Filthy are at 2-4. Wow, man, freaking wow. Controversy, missed calls, penalties, overcoming, walk-off moments, fourth down plays. This one had everything.
Vince Young, Vince Carter, GIF, whatever you want to call it, for this Cowboys NFC East. It's over. You're at over 90% chance to win the NFC East now because of this. Now, there obviously are crazy things that can happen, and those crazy things we don't talk about here. But they certainly are. But this was a fantastic win. Not the best game they've played all year.
No.
Not the best game they're going to play the rest of the year. But that's part of what makes, I don't want to say special teams do, but
yeah.
I mean,
because in this game, in years past, you're saying to yourself, the Cowboys screw this up. They will lose this game.
Yeah, probably. Yes.
But yesterday, there's just a feeling that certain teams give you when it could be a special season, when it could be a great year. And I think many of us had it yesterday. Like, all we got to do is not have as crazy of a second half, which it ended up being, but the Cowboys are a different team. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, look, I mean, you've got to be in order to win games, you got to be good. B, you got to take advantage of their mistakes, which is probably what they did on that final CD catch.
And have some luck.
And then 3, you got to be lucky.
Yeah.
And that's probably what happened on the pick 6, right? I mean, it was off their hands. And then also
the Anthony Brown no call.
The no call with Anthony Brown when he did a face mask at the end and in overtime. And then in overtime also, Aguilar dropping a pass that,
yes.
I mean, gosh, what did he have? An extra 40 yards of freedom? If he had come down with that, it's at least a first down and more. So you've got to be lucky. And nobody ever says you don't have to be lucky. You got to be lucky to win these games. The offense is humming, though. It really is. They've gone over 400 yards of offense in 9 of the last 10 games quarterbacked by Dak.
Wow.
1 of the last 11 when he is not a quarterback for this team.
First win in New England since 1987 when Landry was the head coach. Patriots 0-4 at home for the first time since 1993. Dak with 445 passing yards, the most ever against a Belichick coach Patriots team, including the playoffs. Dak Prescott did that, and we remain the only team perfect against the spread this season.
And that was Dak's 9th career 400 passing game. Of course, that is the most in Cowboys history. Wow. And now he is tied for 8th in NFL history with 2 guys, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Little bit of worry afterwards when reports started to surface that Dak was limping, that he's dealing with a calf strain on that final throw. Watch the final throw to CD with the walk-off, who, by the way, waved the bye-bye to Jalen Mills after Jalen hit him in the end zone. And I think the NFL took down CD's wave because of their new taunting policy.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
They took down the tweet they had of CD waving by to Jalen Mills. And by the way, CD's first walk-off win since high school. I think Dave Hellman tweeted that out. How cool is that? He said, this is the best feeling ever. First walk-off win since high school for CeeDee Lamb.
That's pretty cool.
But afterwards, Dak, why is your leg in a walking boot?
These are Jordans.
No, the one on your right. Browns.
Might get Jordan to make one of these. Yeah, I mean, something we'll figure out. I figured we weren't playing for a week, so I'd give you guys something to talk about and speculate on this time. So there you go.
Did it happen on the throw, or how could you tell what?
Yeah, the last throw. It just came down funny, and that's what it was. And as I said, something we checked out. I'll be fine. Can promise you that. Great timing going into the bye week, but as I said, y'all can have fun with it this week.
So perfect timing with the bye week. Todd Archer was told it's a different calf issue than the one that kept Gallup out for 5 weeks. Curtis, one of our top Tolos, just sent me this from the Morning News. How good is Dak in overtime? Since at least 1994, he's the only NFL player to never throw an overtime incompletion in his career. 18 of 18 for 214 and three touchdowns after regulation with a 155.8 quarterback rating.
Man.
Never thrown an incompletion in overtime? Wow.
If there's any doubters left,
no.
Show yourselves.
Can't be.
There can't be, right?
No.
The guy's literally done everything that you have asked him to do. There can't be any doubters.
Cannot be whatsoever. So Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, with a thrilling win. Holy crap. I got a headache right now. I haven't had a headache during this show forever.
It's COVID.
Hangover.
No, I didn't.
One of the two.
I stayed up till I couldn't sleep. I just wanted to see all the reactions, retweeting. I didn't even watch Sunday Night Football. I tried to finish off The Sopranos. I stayed up till 11. I get a phone call from the wife. She's like, "Are you coming in here?" She called me. She's like, "Are you ever going to go to sleep?"
Why? Cindy does the same thing to me. She'll call me.
Yeah.
Are you coming into the bedroom or not? It's like, just come out here and yell at me.
See, in that house that you've got there, Troy, I would have thought that she would have hit the intercom within the home. Oh, so you coming to bed?
What are you talking about? Like I have a palatial estate?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Got the intercom.
Gosh, so fun. 877-881-1053. Autoflex Leasing Fan Text, 877-881-1053. Brad Sham is going to join us in 10 minutes at 7:20. What else happened throughout the rest of the NFL? Everything playing out in the NFC East as you would want, I think. Although you kind of have the same rooting principle, Rams, Giants, as you did with the Eagles and the Buccaneers. And then you had it with the Washington football team in KC. Washington loses to the Chiefs, and the Giants get destroyed by the LA Rams.
A couple things on that. Washington has allowed 30 points in 4 straight games. Kansas
Vaunted. What happened to that vaunted defense?
It was never going to repeat last year because the defense no carryover. Kansas City is the 6th team in the Super Bowl era to average 30 points a game and not have a winning record after 6 weeks. only one of those teams, those previous 6, made the playoffs. That's it. It's only one of them. And Kansas City's going to become the second because they're Kansas City.
And you remember a couple years back before SoFi Stadium, before the Chargers were good, even though they were horrible yesterday, how we would make fun of the Chargers fan base for not showing up to games?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make that a point when you're watching Giants games in MetLife Stadium. Go look, since you were on your phone forever last night, Sean, go look at the photos and the videos of MetLife Stadium around the third quarter. It was maybe half full.
Really? I saw FedEx was empty for Mahomes in town.
Yeah.
Like, it was empty up top there. NFC East, we're 5-1. Football team in Filthy, 2-4. The Giants 1-5. It's, you know how can life get this much? How can it get that much better right now? Just savor it and soak it in. It's so awesome. It's fantastic. It was a great day for Urban Meyer in London. Did you forget that you had London football on as Jacksonville gets their first W?
Cook puts it down. Wright kicks it up. The 53-yarder is good! 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 Wright has made it! The Jaguars have won it on a 53-yard field goal by Matthew Wright! What a magnificent ending in London!
London!
The walk-off 53-yarder beats Miami, snapping Jacksonville's 20-game losing streak. I tweeted, what pubs will Urban be hitting up? Will he make the flight back home to the States? And now Brian Flores apparently on a hot seat. We'll get to that later on. Lamar Jackson set the NFL record for most wins by a quarterback under the age of 25. 35th victory, moving him past Dan Marino. And he didn't even have that great of a game. But the Ravens, maybe, with the win of the day with what they did to the Chargers.
Jackson from the gun, fakes the handoff, looking end zone, fires, touchdown! Mark Andrews, and the Ravens put up 6 more points.
Man, the Ravens have the most 20-point victories since 2019. With 10 of them.
What an organization.
Lamar has never lost a game in October. And they're 34-4 when leading at half with him as the quarterback. It's fantastic. And what a uneventful day for the Chargers. Uneventful. Now, I loved it because Brandon Staley went for 4th and 1 from his own 19-yard line. I was doing hula hoops on that one. Fantastic. But they were completely outclassed. And it appears that the Chargers do not want to see two teams in the playoffs. The Ravens and the Cowboys. Because they give up.
They can't stop the run.
The most rushing yards in the NFL at 162 a game.
They cannot stop the run. The Cardinals remain undefeated. Maybe that's the win of the day. 37-14 over the Browns. Baker and Kareem Hunt hurt. The Raiders, new coach theory, dominate the Broncos. 34-24. And last night, Jamal Adams' jokes were flowing as Pittsburgh beats Seattle 23-20. So that is a quick look around the NFL.
Real quick, Baker Mayfield, longest completion of the next-gen era, 66.4 yards. In air.
Oh.
Where the ball traveled 66.4 yards. And then Jamal Adams, like you said, where he said he was the best in the nation, ranked 62 of 85 among all safeties.
College football. One of the final highlights that Ed Orgeron will ever see on LSU radio.
Richardson gets it. Goes back 5 steps. Here comes pressure. Throws off his back foot, and it is intercepted! Damone Clark has it at the 35-yard line! Damone Clark, leading tackler. First interception of the year. 4th of the day offered up by the Gators. And with a minute 59 to go, the Tigers may have sealed this one up.
Ed Orgeron and the school reach an agreement. He is out after winning the national championship just a few years ago. Some scandalous off-the-field stuff being reported that there's not a woman that can walk by at a gas station that Ed won't try to pick up.
Including the pregnant wife of an LSU higher-ranking official.
Wow.
That he was creeping on. So, old, the cheating Cajun.
Yeah.
Old Coach O. is out.
Sooners go with Caleb Williams at quarterback. Works out for them. Longhorns blow another lead. And you proud today?
I am.
You proud today
I
after
am.
what y'all did with Lane Kiffin? That scene there in Knoxville.
First of all,
what a disgrace.
First of all, Ole Miss did the same thing to us. They threw stuff on the field when we were playing a basketball game there in 2019. We had the Braves fans throw stuff on the field as well. You had stuff with people in England at this London game who were throwing things on the field. Don't just look at us, okay? Passionate fans throw stuff on the field. By the way, who brings a mustard bottle to a football game?
Well, they said since Tennessee couldn't catch up, they brought mustard. Stars have lost 2 straight after opening the year with a win against the Rangers. They lost 3-1 to the Brewers, and they lost 3-2 to the Senators. And the Braves dropped 2-0 on the mighty Dodgers in the National League Championship Series.
2 straight walk-offs. Walk-off game 1, walk-off game 2. Rosario with a single off the glove of Kyle Seager. What a terrible play. He's going to get $300 million this offseason? Yes, he is, because he's good.
From C13 Features. A new kind of listening experience.
He's back!
Help me!
Get out of there.
It's here.
No, don't let them in.
You can experience Treat, a podcast movie starring Kiernan Shipka, for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Grab some popcorn and enjoy the show.
Hey, I'm Peter Bukowski, host of the Locked On Today podcast. Trying to stay on top of every big story in sports is a full-time job. I know, because it is my full-time job. But it's not yours. That's why we have a network of local experts ready to give you the inside scoop on everything you truly need to know in the sports world. And we do it every day to make sure you're always caught up on the latest and greatest in sports. Listen to the Locked On Today podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.
Have you cut the cord and are feeling bored with your streaming services? CuriosityStream can help. With thousands of documentary films and TV shows, let CuriosityStream put the science back in your screen time. Astound you with history come to life and wildlife that will reach out and grab you. We've got the fix for your nonfiction addiction. Watch us on any device, anywhere you are. Visit CuriosityStream.com to sign up and start streaming now.
2021 Odyssey Beach Festival, December 4th and 5th at the world-famous Fort Lauderdale Beach in Florida. 2 days of music with almost 24 bands, including 21 Pilots, Swedish House Mafia, The Lumineers, Weezer,
Taking my time on my ride.
Bastille, Walk the Moon, Mod Sun, and more. Tickets on sale now at OdysseyBeachFestival.com. Supported by Ford. Built for you. Built for South Florida.
Well, one way or another, this is going to be a real growing situation for the Cowboys for the rest of this year.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Jones fires it over the middle, and there's Diggs with the deflected interception left sideline. 10-5. Of course it's Diggs. Why, of course it's Diggs. Trayvon Diggs.
I want to know the reactions in your house or in the car at 8 o'clock. Let's take some calls. Then Trent Dilfer is going to get a hold of us to talk about quarterback play. I legit think that I've given myself a headache from so much reading, reacting, and not sleeping. But it's all worth it. 35-29, Cowboys win at Foxborough, and the cool numbers just keep coming in. David Hellman tweeting, Trayvon Diggs not only has more touchdowns than his brother, Stephon, he would be tied for the team lead in receiving touchdowns if he played for the Eagles. He'd be tied for the team lead. He would hold the lead on his own if he played for the New York Football Giants.
And also Trayvon Diggs, the first Cowboy to have 2 pick six in a season since 2002. Roy Williams.
The voice of America's team, Brad Sham, now joining us on the Romeo's Pizza hotline. Get game-winning pizza delivery and takeout at romeospizza.com. Were you exhausted after that one?
Yeah, a little tired. You know, I mean, it tested all the emotions, including long patience. And I was a little disappointed with how they came out.
Yeah.
And then I just trying to tell myself, remember what you would tell anybody you were talking to right now. This is going to be a long year, and no year when they did everything that they wanted to do went perfectly the whole time. And this league, especially the way this team's constructed, is going to be about resilience and overcoming adversity. And that's the best part of what they did.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday, you're going to have slip-ups, you're going to have bad performances. Maybe with all the penalties and everything that went against them, this is like a game you feel even better about because it's one that you could have or should have lost in parts of it.
Well, I wouldn't say should, but I would agree with the rest of it 100% because they certainly could have lost it. The penalties were just off the charts ridiculous. Some of them I thought were really bad calls. I thought there were one or two that went against New England that were bad calls. Stuff that we didn't see, but that were called. I I scratched my head over the decision to go for it from your own 34 to start the game.
Same.
That's okay. And you could kind of see what was going to happen. But they overcame that too. And Tyron going out. And, okay, fine. Next. And just all the things. That game had just a little bit of all of the things that could go both right and wrong. And that's kind of what the league is now.
Did you and Babe get a sense, or were you able to identify with Belichick? Normally he's trying to take something away. I know Babe was fascinated going into the game, previewing it with us. What was Belichick going to try to do? Did y'all get that answer?
I'm not sure we did, but I would Babe expected them to take away the deep ball because he thought, and I'm going to put words in his mouth, but I think Babe's thought is, and therefore he expected Belichick's thought to be, you go run all day, but I'm not going to let you score real fast. So I'm going to take away the big play.
Right.
But they did make some big plays in the passing game, but nothing that was really out of character for what they do. I did think they I thought they took away the running game in many of the same ways that Tampa did. In fact, Sean, there was one point after, I don't know if it was the second possession or the third possession, when I said, okay, and I said this, this is going to be like Tampa. Because if you recall, they started the first possession, they tried to run, they couldn't run too well. And then on their first touchdown, they came out and they threw the ball. They ran it once, I think they ran it once, and then they threw it like 6 times, and they were in the end zone. And so that to me said, okay, this is Tampa. This is what's available. This is what we're going to do. And so I do think that he kind of took away the running game from the way that they would like to do it.
Brad Sham, voice of the Cowboys, joins us here at 105 through the Fan. Is this a game you feel in years past, they let slip away?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That was a really easy game to lose. No question about it. And here is what we now all have to recognize. We completely have to stop viewing the game. There's two things. We have to stop viewing the sport, the game, the way maybe it was when we were kids and whoever taught it to us. This is the NBA now. This is high scoring at the end, be close in the fourth quarter. And the other thing is the Cowboys now have that quarterback that you can't give the ball back to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. And this guy, it did something against a Bill Belichick defense that has never been done with 4:45. And at the end, I said last hour, in other years, you're like, all right, the Cowboys are going to lose this. They'll figure out a way to screw it up. But I was like, if Dak has it, no matter what time is left, I mean, the completion to Lamb, the Cedric Wilson, I give credit for that play, the walk-off. I mean, this guy, he is at the peak of his powers, it seems like, Brad.
I don't know if he's at his peak yet, Sean. He's getting there, but I don't know if he's at his peak. Mm-hmm. And he's just that guy, and that the offense is that offense. And, so Diggs scores. Now you're up, and I literally, the words out of my mouth after the kickoff was, okay, all they have to do is not give up a touchdown. And, of course, on the very next play, 75 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And so now you're behind. And I looked up at the clock, and there's 2:11 left, and I said, "Oh no, this is all right. This is exactly where they want to be."
Yeah, and it was almost like on that play, Diggs thought he had help, and because KZ thought Diggs was going to make a play, and, and he took a wrong route. He took KZ took the bad route in the back, and Diggs let him get a beat on the double move.
Yeah, I think. Well, Diggs said himself after the game, RJ, that he misplayed the double move. And KZ, if you go back and look at the play, I think KZ's mistake is he thinks he's about to catch the ball. Watch his hands.
Mm-hmm.
He's like placing his hands in front of him so he's going to catch the ball, and he did everything except catch the ball. So, but that's okay because there's 2:11 left, and our guy's got the ball. Yep. You can't stop him.
Brad Sham on the Romeo's Pizza Hotline. How many Cowboy fans were there? I heard the Coop chants. I wanted to ask you, since you were there, how many showed up?
There were a lot. There were several thousand in the section right. So all the broadcast booths are behind the visitors' bench, and there were, in fact, our statistician Bob Thomas counted before the game in the two sections that we could see right below us, and he said 14 of every 16 jerseys are Cowboy jerseys.
Wow.
And there was a lot there, especially, and it was especially a lot both closest to our microphones, which is why you could hear it, and right behind their bench. And I think it was clearly a home crowd, but they were significant.
What did you make, and what do you make of Dak's injury? How concerning with the calf, I should say.
When the guy's in a walking boot, that's not good news. The fact that he was still in such a good mood, and that they let him go to the podium, indicates that it's not as serious as it could have been. The day after is really the best way to evaluate that. So we'll know more today, and it's a good thing they don't have a game this week. And if there's any way, I think what we know now is if there's any way humanly possible for him to play and function next week, he'll be ready to play in Minnesota. I'll tell you a story real quick. And I don't remember what year it was, but it was certainly before 79. So it was like 77 or 8 probably. And one of the very rare occasions that I would go into the locker room before the game, and Staubach had a hamstring injury, and it was right down to game time whether he was going to play in the game or not, or whether Danny White would play. And I happened to be in the locker room for something. I walked by the training room, and Staubach is standing on the training table with Landry and the doctors. And the back of his right leg, which is where the hamstring injury was purple from all the blood in his leg from the torn hamstring. And I wasn't supposed to see it, and I wasn't trying to see it, but I couldn't unsee it. And I said, holy cow, that guy's out for a month. And he played that day. And Landry then said to him, can you play? And he said, I can play. And he played. And so I think we were a little evolved in medicine that they take better care of the players. Now, they don't tell them to play, but Landry would never tell Staubach to play. And I don't think anybody would tell Dak to play. But if Dak says, I can play, he'll play.
Brad, I want to ask you what happened at the end of the game there. Regulation. So it's 3rd and 25. They throw the pass. They get down to 4th and 1. They quick call a timeout instead of letting it run down. Did it say 3rd and 25 in the stadium? Because on TV it was said 3rd and 25 and 2nd and 25. Did they know what down it was, or did they just call the timeout too quickly because they thought it was a first down?
I think that they knew. I don't remember having any question. The signage in this stadium was good, and we could very clearly that it was 3rd and 25, and I don't remember how. It wasn't very much time left, but what was it? 30 seconds.
31 seconds at the time of the play. 24 when they called the timeout.
So then you got the field goal. They could see it. There was a reason that they wanted to call it with 24 seconds. I don't know what it was. That kind of got lost in there was a lot.
Do you think in that moment, do you think he knew immediately it was 4th and 1, or you had to wait a little bit. Therefore, you're like, let's call the timeout while we're figuring this out. Because as if you know it's fourth down, you cannot call the timeout there because you give them 20 seconds to respond after a tie game. But if you're trying to figure it out, I can understand calling it. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, I have no way of knowing that.
Yeah. Did you know what? Like, did you know it was short? How fast do you know?
Yeah, we could tell. Well, I mean, pretty quick. You could tell it looked, and we had a pretty good view just with the naked eye. And then the replay that I remember seeing, it didn't seem to be much question. I think that there was more astonishment that he almost made it was third and 25.
Yeah.
So you're just thinking how you get it close enough to do anything. We were actually thinking more, can he get it to 4th and 5 where he can give himself a chance, and then when it was 4th and 1, then you don't take the chance, because if you go for it and don't get it, you don't even get a chance to kick the tying field goal. So that was a no-brainer.
Give us one more name that absolutely deserves to be talked about and get his credit this morning.
Have you talked about Terrence Steele?
No.
Go back, look at the first in the winning drive. The first down pass down the right side. I don't remember who caught it. But it was a big play. It put him into New England territory. And watch what Terrence Steele did to Matthew Judon. Judon, and Judon's just a beast. He's their best player. Now, he wasn't yesterday. The number 8 was their best player yesterday at 13 tackles, and then got hurt. And that hurt them when he went out. But Judon is certainly their best pass rusher. And he takes his angle. He's on his way. Steele locks up on him, rides him high of the pocket. Dak runs up through that opening, moves to his right, gets closer to the line, throws the ball. Steele finishes the play by taking Judon almost between the numbers and burying him in the ground. It's unbelievable.
You got Mike McCarthy tonight?
Yeah, how about that?
How about that? What a day. What a start to the week. Thank you, friend. Have a good trip back.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, boys.
Voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham on the Romeo's Pizza hotline. Get game-winning pizza delivery and takeout at romeospizza.com. Watching the game with Tony Romo, who thinks the Cowboys are a legit Super Bowl contender, and why does he keep trying to get Kellen Moore a job away from this football team?
How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. From Egypt to Einstein, CuriosityStream is the place for history and more. Visit curiositystream.com and start streaming now.
2021 Odyssey Beach Festival, December 4th and 5th at the world-famous Fort Lauderdale Beach in Florida. 2 days of music with almost 24 bands, including 21 Pilots, Swedish House Mafia, The Lumineers, Weezer,
Taking my time on my ride.
Bastille, Walk the Moon, Mod Sun, and more. Tickets on sale now at OdysseyBeachFestival.com. Supported by Ford. Built for you. Built for South Florida.
I'm Shayna. And I'm Tracy, and we're the hosts of Band of Mothers podcasts. We're a little Wait, Don't Tell Me meets This American Life meets Thelma and Louise.
I can't wait to drive off a cliff with you.
You've been saying that since the 8th grade.
Each week, we feature real stories from moms just like you. Plus, we've got live performances, in-studio interviews, games, original music, and more.
So join our Band of Mothers and subscribe now on the Odyssey app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
It's the Band of Mothers podcast.
Sakara is a nutrition company that focuses on overall wellness, starting with what you eat. Sakara's organic, ready-to-eat meals and functional wellness products, including their best-selling Metabolism Super Powder, are made with powerful plant-based ingredients and are designed to minimize your sugar cravings, improve your digestion, and get you glowing inside out. Nourish your body and experience real plant-powered results with Sakara. Take 20% off your first order when you go to sakara.com/radio or enter radio at checkout. That's SAKARA.com/radio.
Two-man stack on the right. Jones back to throw, and he's sacked at the 25-yard line by Gregory, who has his second sack of the day.
Man, Randy Gregory with some vicious quarterback hits yesterday. A game changer in terms of turning the momentum. That first sack that Golston recovered, forcing Mac and Cheese to fumble. Randy said that past couple of games he's tried to talk a little smack because it gets him more fired up. 2 sacks yesterday, and the collision and force he brought were hardcore. It's a Cowboys Monday as they win 35-29 with the walk-off here on your home of America's team. Going to get your calls. The way you reacted, try not to curse, because I did, when Diggs had the pick 6, when Dak found CD. We'll do it at 8 o'clock, then Trent Dilfer to talk about the greatness of Dak Prescott as the possible MVP at 8:15 this morning. But let's watch this game with Romo.
All right.
Let's go back. Tony was on the call. We just had Brad Sham on. He, of course, does the radio call here on The Fan. But Romo and Nance had this. You know that Romo is an expert when it comes to the Patriots with all the games that he's done and the love that he has. I tweeted before the game, will Romo show more love towards the Cowboys or the Patriots throughout this game?
I think you might know.
And I don't know what the final answer was because, you know, he's going to praise, you know, he's doing it with Mahomes now and the Chiefs. People are like, all right, we get it. Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're great. Well, they're doing those games every other week because they got the AFC deal. Well, it was the Patriots originally when Tony started.
Sure. I mean, look, I thought Romo did a fine job. I mean, Romo does generally a good job. A lot of people in the fan text were saying, like, after halftime, it seemed like he had basically his brain fell asleep.
Really?
Like they didn't think his second half was as good, as strong as it should have been. I didn't notice a stark change.
He got one of his predictions right. He said, and I laughed at it. He said, I think this game will come down to the final drive. He was dead on right with that. He said when he was talking with Belichick, they were having the discussion about who you take away. You know, who do you focus on to try to take away? And basically, they didn't come up with an answer because you got Schultz, you got Pollard, you got Jarwin who scored, Lamb, Cooper, Cedric Wilson doing damage. And they couldn't come away with like that. Zeke, you couldn't come away with that ultimate number one answer on who to take away because the Cowboys are so deadly and versatile.
It seemed early on that New England was allowing the Cowboys to target Wilson.
Yeah. Well, the catches, Amari and CD didn't have a catch till the third quarter from the first quarter.
Yeah. So it seemed like early on they were like, okay, we're going to take away CD, we're going to take away Amari. If you want to have Cedric Wilson, you can have Cedric Wilson because he's not really a deep threat. We're going to take away the other guys. And that and as the game wore on, you know, the great players are going to find ways to get open anyway, especially the defense. You get some mistakes. The Cowboys, took advantage of some mistakes from New England in the second half, but it seemed early on. Now, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I I was trying to find out too. I was trying to think, okay, now who's New England taking away in this game?
Yeah,
because it's a big thing. It's something that Bill always does. I mean, always doesn't matter who they're playing, and every coach will do this. Who are they taking away? They clearly. Tried to take away, I think, the receivers, Lamb and Amari early on, and it worked. Although the Cowboys did try, to their credit, force it down the field. Like they tried a ton of go routes to Amari and Lamb, and this didn't work.
Well, they got the 50-yarder to Cedric Wilson, got called back because of penalty.
Yeah.
Romo also predicted the Patriots would bring pressure in the second half. He said that coming out. They did do that. He had an interesting observation on the Zuerlein miss. He thought that Zuerlein was trying to adjust the kick to the defender who came around the edge. Like that almost looked like it was going to get blocked. He thought that Zuerlein was trying to adjust because he saw that the Patriot defender was going to go ahead and block that kick. He also was criticizing, as much as Tony does, he doesn't go that hard, but he was criticizing McCarthy with the game and clock management at the end. He said, "What are you doing? Like, why would you call your time out there?" Now, Brad, we asked him, being in the stadium, could you tell that the Cowboys were short, that it was going to be 4th and 1? And he said, yeah, you can tell pretty quick. So if that's the case, then McCarthy had no reason to call a timeout there with 20 seconds left, giving it back to New England with time instead of going right to OT.
The only thing I would think of with that is that Brad is in a New England, from what I've been told, has the best setup for an announce booth. It's like right at midfield. It's very, very low.
Oh,
top of the lower bowl.
Oh.
So Brad would have a great viewpoint.
Yeah.
Whereas Mike on the sideline might not. Also, Fantex brought this up. Good point. You also call a timeout there if you are contemplating going for it on fourth down.
Yes.
So either way, if they thought they might have gotten it, so it's first down, or they knew it was short and they wanted to give themselves a second to figure out if they wanted to go for it on fourth.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So look, there's a lot of things that go into this, and I'm sure Brad will ask this to Mike tonight.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of things that go into that and whether or not it was the right call or not.
What happened to Belichick's nose, by the way? Did y'all see that cut on there? I was like, what happened? Someone tweeted me back at Tolo. Steve bit it in the middle of a trip as his son was doing his meth face yesterday on the sidelines as the Patriots D coordinator. And then Romo he must get a commission being Kellen Moore's agent. I mean, it's the second straight Cowboy game he's worked where he goes, he's just not going to be here next year. Kellen Moore will not be here next year. He's going to be a head coach. And I'm like, damn it, Tony, shut up. Stop talking about Kellen Moore so much. So he rolls up out of here. And then before the Cowboys' last touchdown, he said, quote, if they stay healthy this year, you do not want to see this team. They really could win the whole thing. They're that type of team, scoring 30-plus points in 4 straight games. 1 point in Tampa Bay, shy of hitting 30 in 5 of 6. They came up 1 point short against Tampa of scoring 30 or more in 5 of 6. But those were my Romo observations yesterday.
Well, obviously, I didn't watch Tony Romo. I'm one of the guys that likes to pair up the fan with the game, so I'm listening to Brad and Babe. So I didn't hear what Romo was doing. Although I'm reading about it this morning, Sean. This is from Alex Reimer. He is a Odyssey Sports managing editor. Would you like me to read a little bit of his article about Tony Romo?
Yeah, please.
All right, let's go and see. Music, please. Thank you. Bill Belichick wasn't the only previous immortal football character who lost his luster Sunday during the Cowboys' thrilling overtime win. Tony Romo did as well. Tony Romo, who showed up to Foxborough Sunday, was loud, confused, and bordering on offensive. His gab fest with Jim Nantz following a segment about cancer patients enjoying a spa day at Gillette Stadium was downright cringeworthy.
What?
Romo is more about presentation than substance. He's also fallen to the trap of repeating his talking points endlessly. In a way, the brilliance of the Manning cast has exposed Romo. Peyton Manning knows everything about quarterback play and is funny as hell by comparison. Romo seems boorish.
Who wrote that?
This is from Alex Reimer. He works at Odyssey Sports as a managing editor. Oh, by the way, should I also tell you he writes for WEEI, the home of the Patriots.
He's the guy that got suspended for calling Brady's kid a pissant.
Oh! Yeah. Wow! Oh, he did?
Yeah, remember that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the guy?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Wow. Way to go, clown. Way to go. I don't care if you work for the same company. You sit there and go at a kid, you go at a child, and then you want to sit there and make fun of Romo for acknowledging cancer patients in the game. What the heck is wrong with you? That's why I hate
people. Just say it. People. I hate people too.
I do hate people.
Yeah, in general.
But the massholes, man. Gosh, it's annoying me that the Red Sox are even sitting there in this series in the ALCS. I just want them to get taken out. So those were my Romo observations of what happened yesterday. 877-881-1053. Autoflex Leasing Fan Text 877-881-1053 to hit us up on Sean and RJ. We're going to have Trent Dilfer on at 8:15 to talk about Dak Prescott mastering this position. I want to finish up with something that Brad talked about, and I'm not going to fight too much with you because I'm sitting here dealing with a Cowboy migraine headache from just celebrating and screaming too much. I hated the first fourth down decision for McCarthy to go for it, and the reason why I hated it is you're going up against a team who can't score. You're going up against a team who has 19 points a game that they put up. And you're sitting there deep in your own territory. Yeah, I have confidence in the Cowboys normally picking up that yard, but just don't give them momentum and don't give them the fast start. And when they didn't pick it up, bam, they immediately scored, and it's like you're helping someone's handicap. Sorry, Alex, Reimer. Sorry, Reimer. I said the word handicap. You're just giving momentum and handing it over to the other team, and it's 7-0 just like that. So I didn't like it just because I didn't have any confidence in the Patriots offense to take the ball after a punt, especially with the way they've struggled in the first quarter. Like Nance was ripping off all these different stats about how bad New England's offense has been in the first quarter and even at home. And I would have hoped that research would have already been known by McCarthy and played into, let's just not give them the ball here really, really deep into our own territory. Otherwise, the other fourth down calls I'm fine with, except for the one where they decided to kick instead of go for it on 4th and 1. But that was my problem at the beginning.
It was inconsistent because they went for it there, but they didn't go for it, like you said, when they had Zuerlein have the kick that he missed.
From 51.
Which was one that I thought they should have gone for. I would have gone for it still. I think in general, the book says, it's like the book, right? You got to go by the book because you never go wrong when you go by the book. The book says 4th and 1, you always go for it. Just that, Brandon Staley, did you see that this week?
No.
4th and 1 from his own 19. Now, they didn't get it. I mean, that's a risk, obviously. You're going to convert it about 80% of the time. You take your chance on the 20%. I could go either way. At your own 34-yard line, I could go either way.
What's your cutoff point for the yard line?
I don't really have one because it's.
So if you're on your own 15, you don't care.
I probably wouldn't go for it on my own 15.
Now this was on the Cowboys' own 34, for the record, just for the record.
Yeah, that's you're borderline field goal range there. Like, yeah. You're kind of there already.
If you don't get it, you're giving them 3 usually, at least, and then they ended up scoring the touchdown.
There's 2 ways to go about it. Like if they can't score, and you know that, then you can easily catch up. Or if they're a super good offensive team, then I think you have to go for it, right? Because then you can't give up possession.
New this week on Curiosity Stream. In the last 100 years, half the world's monarchies have lost their thrones. Dig deep into real royal stories to see the shocking truth.
It's fair to say that it plunged the royal family into chaos.
And how it's good to be king until it's not on Royals Keeping the Crown. And follow one filmmaker's quest to reveal the poetry in your pint glass on Beer, a Love Story. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are just $20. That's $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com now.
2021 Odyssey Beach Festival, December 4th and 5th at the world-famous Fort Lauderdale Beach in Florida. 2 days of music with almost 24 bands, including 21 Pilots, Swedish House Mafia, The Lumineers, Weezer,
Taking my time on my ride.
Bastille, Walk the Moon, Mod Sun, and more. Tickets on sale now at OdysseyBeachFestival.com. Supported by Ford. Built for you. Built for South Florida.
Sakara is a nutrition company that focuses on overall wellness, starting with what you eat. Sakara's organic, ready-to-eat meals are made with powerful plant-based ingredients and are designed to minimize your sugar cravings, boost your energy, improve your digestion, and get you glowing inside and out. And it's delivered fresh to your door anywhere in the U.S. Start your end-of-summer detox with 20% off your first order when you go to sakara.com/radio or enter radio at checkout. That's SAKARA.com/radio.